And we welcome you to the TD Garden here in Boston, Massachusetts. I am Vinny from Vita Productions, and NBA2K26 presents another exciting edition of the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough. We are in Boston, where the Boston Celtics will play host to the New York Knicks. This is the second game of our second schedule block here. As you see, the Celtics are in 11th in the Eastern Conference right now at 8-12. The Knicks lead the Eastern Conference at 16-3 on the season. The calendar day for this game is Monday, December 2nd, though this game is out on Thursday, November 13th, 2025. As we look at the starting lineups, we got Jalen Brunson, Michael Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jason Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns for the Knicks. And for the Celtics at the guards, Anthony Simons and Derek White. Forwards will be Jaylen Brown, Xavier Tillman, and Luka Garza at center, as the Knicks will win the toss. Both teams have already played once in schedule block number 1. The Celtics lost on this home court to the Clippers by 19. As you see, Brunson for 3. Brunson will drain it, and it's 3-0 very quickly here. But as I mentioned before, the Celtics lost on their only game they've played so far in the season playthrough on a watch game. You see Jaylen Brown with the jumper. That is good, and the Celtics are on the board. You see Brown averaging 24 points a game to start off the season here. The Knicks, though, played a few days ago. Usually I try to get 3 games between, if 3-game minimum between being shown again, but this is the second schedule block. You see Brunson with a deep 2 there. He has 5 points. He had 40 in that game against the Milwaukee Bucks to end schedule block number 1. Very exciting game just a few days ago. He had the winning shot with .2 to play. If you know, you know. I'd go back and watch that game if I were you. Subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications when these videos do come out here. You see Bridges will get the rebound off the miss. Josh Hart coming through. Hart with the layup, and that is good. 7-2, the Knicks on top. Anthony Simons with it back over to Xavier Tillman Sr. Back to Brown. Jaylen Brown thought about the 3 for a second, but he passes that up. Luka Garza from inside. He'll miss that. Michael Bridges will get the rebound here. 2 minutes into the game, as you see Karl Anthony Towns with the slam dunk. Last season, he made All-NBA third team. Anthony Towns came in for Julius Randle as part of a trade. You see Derek White for 3. That is no good. Leading into last season, before the start of last season, during the offseason, he was traded to the Knicks from the Minnesota Timberwolves as Josh Hart with another bucket. It's an early 9-point lead for the Knicks. The Knicks at 16-3, leaders of the Atlantic Division and tops in the Eastern Conference right now, while you have the Boston Celtics at 8-12. I think they are 3rd in the Atlantic Division, 11th in the Eastern Conference, and they would miss out on the play-in tournament right now if the season were to end today. See Jalen Brunson back over to Bridges. Bridges back to Brunson, over to Anunoby. Towns passing over to Brunson. Brunson for 3. That is off the rim, and Jaylen Brown will grab the rebound. Simons with it. That's up. That is no good. Anunoby with the rebound here. Brunson coming around. Back over to Cat. Cat with the layup. That's good. And the Knicks are on top by 11 early, as Karl Anthony Towns averaging 23.5 points per game. And the Celtics will call their first timeout here. 8:23 to play in the first quarter. It's 13-2. The Knicks on top, and we're going to keep it here because I always keep it for the first timeout of every game, because that is when I can get my plug out very easily for my channel here. I am Vinny from Vita Productions. I do mostly sports video games on this channel. Might do some vlogging, I don't know. I did do a game vlog for when I was at a Sharks game a few weeks ago. But this current project, as I'm doing right now, is for NBA 2K. It's the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough, where I play one game for every 2 to 3 calendar days. So I'll play the game like you're watching right now, go over the stats, then I do a post-game ticker, go through the injury report, and then any news and notes that are worthy right now. Right now, there hasn't been any like trades or anything for me to post. The only last time I did a news and notes worthy was, of course, I had to fire Chauncey Billups as the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and then of course suspend Terry Rozier for indefinitely with their involvement in a gambling ring. I think 2 different gambling scandals, but I know one had to do with people betting on the unders for statistics for Rozier, and then I know Chauncey Billups was part of like an illegal poker ring that involved a mob. As we look at the opponent's games this season, you see the Knicks allow the second least amount of points at 107.2 points per game. Big reason why they are 16-3 on the year. I see Xavier Tillman Sr. coming around with Luka Garza. Back over to White. Over to Tillman. Back over to Derek White. Over to Tillman. Passing back over to Simons. 5 on the shot clock. Simons, there's a shot up. That is good. Anthony Simons with the bucket. As you can see here, the Celtics have won the most NBA championships with 18. The most recent was just a couple of seasons ago, back in 2024 when they defeated the Mavericks. As you see, Karl Anthony Towns with the 3. And it's a 12-point lead for the Knicks. Anthony Simons with it being guarded by Jalen Brunson. As I said, Brunson was the hero of the game in the last watch game the Knicks were in. Their only watch game so far. As you see, that is off the iron. That is no good. Hart will get the rebound here. Josh Hart back over to Jalen Brunson with the Knicks up by 12 already. The Knicks had to come back from 17 down in the first quarter. They were the ones that were struggling. As you see, Karl Anthony Towns in their last game, he had 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a miss. As you see, Derek White with the rebound here. Anthony Simons has it. Back over to Jaylen Brown. Brown from inside the paint. That is good. The Knicks lead is only 10 now. As you see, Jaylen Brown averaging 24 points a game. See Brunson coming in. We're going to have some substitutions coming in pretty soon. As you see, both teams will have players at the scores table. As you see Hart coming around with the layup. That is good. It's a 12-point lead again for the Knicks. Knicks shooting 8 of 10 to start off the game. The Celtics at 3 of 9. Simons has it for the Celtics here. As you see, there's under 8 to shoot on the shot clock. Simons for 3. That is off the iron, and Hart will get the rebound. We are now halfway through the first quarter here. 18-6, the Knicks on top. Bridges for 3. He drains it. It's a 15-point lead for the Knicks. As I said, the Knicks were trailing by 17 in the first quarter, as we have another timeout by the Celtics. I'm going to take a timeout as well. 5:45 to play in the first. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in Boston with the Knicks leading by 15 already. 5:45 to play in the first quarter. Substitutions are going to be made by both teams here coming out of this timeout. And let's see here who's going to inbound it there. I know Brown's still in the game for the Celtics. Back over to Simons. Simons coming through with 10 on the shot clock. Passing it back over to Jaylen Brown. Hauser is in the lineup for the Celtics here. As you see, Hart will get the rebound off the miss. Jordan Clarkson in the lineup. But you see, with the assist to Brunson, and Brunson will shoot the 3, and it is 24-6. Jordan Clarkson actually had a big part of that comeback from behind win, especially in that fourth quarter when he had, I think, 15 of his 25 points in that fourth quarter. And there is a 3-second violation that's going to go against the Celtics. I see Mitchell Robinson coming into the game, as Michael Bridges will take a breather. Towns will inbound it to Brunson. Peyton Pritchard into the game now for the first time for the Celtics. You see Mitchell Robinson coming through the post. Robinson, Garza had a part of it, but it still went in, and the Knicks are up by 20 in this game. Very early on, it looks like it's a public library here in Boston. 4.5 to play in the first. Pritchard back over to Hauser. Hauser back to Pritchard in there. 10 on the shot clock over to Brown. Jaylen Brown for three. That is off the iron, no good, but Luka Garza will get the rebound and the put up there. The lead is only 18 for the New York Knicks. Brunson, there's a jump shot. That is good, and the Knicks are back on top by 20. Jalen Brunson won Clutch Player of the Year last year, and I could see why. I mean, he's been a really good player. Back over to Pritchard. Pritchard for three. That is off the iron, and Towns will get the rebound. Clarkson had it for a second, passes over to Hart. Back over to Brunson. Brunson, that is no good. And that's going to be a rebound there. Brown, I think, actually controlled it, so I think he gets credit for the rebound here. Pritchard to Brown. Trailing by 20. 3.5 to play here in the first. Over to Hauser. Hauser will put the Celtics in double figures here. You see Jaylen Brown, 15 points and 5 rebounds in their loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers in their last game. See Brunson coming around. Over to Hart. Hart for three. He drains it. It's a 21-point lead for the New York Knicks. 3 to play in the first. See Jaylen Brown coming around, passing it over to White. Derek White for three. That is off the iron, and Mitchell Robinson will grab the rebound for the Knicks. See Brunson with it back over to Jordan Clarkson, over to Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Towns over Hauser. Jordan Clarkson with the assist. That's a 23-point lead for the Knicks, as Derek White will make the shot there, and it's a 21-point game again. 2:20 to play in the first. 33-12, the Knicks on top. Do not adjust your screen. Brunson for three. That is off the iron, and Mitchell Robinson will grab the offensive rebound and the points there. And the lead is back up to 23 here as we are approaching 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Definitely has been a dominant effort by the Knicks so far in this game. Garza, jump shot. That is up no good. Hart with the rebound. Let's see Josh Hart back over to Jalen Brunson. Both of these teams played in the postseason last year. Played each other as the Knicks actually came on top in that series. You see Josh Hart for three. That is off the iron. Mitchell Robinson with another rebound and more points for him. Mitchell Robinson, 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting off the bench. And you see Luka Garza with the slam dunk. Get it over to Towns and Karl Anthony Towns. Basically a coast-to-coast pass, and Towns was able to get the bucket there, and he has 11 in this game. Back up by 25, the Knicks are. Peyton Pritchard coming through. Pritchard passes up a shot to Derek White for three. He drains it. 22-point lead now. Under 45 to play in the first. Brunson passing it over to Towns. Towns back to Brunson. Brunson for three. He drains it. And the Knicks have put up 42 in this first quarter, as Brunson with 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. 30 seconds to play in the first. Garza for three. That is off the iron, no good. And there is a foul called against Derek White. Loose ball foul, and that is the first personal there. Substitutions being made by both teams. Bridges and I forgot who else is in there, going by fast. Brunson taking the inbound there. 42-17, Knicks on top as we're approaching the last 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. I am not kidding you. And there, Brunson, jump shot. That is good. Jalen Brunson has 15 in this first quarter. Simons will get it from half court, and that is no good. And that will do it for the first quarter here. New York Knicks off to a very dominant start here. They lead the Celtics 44-17 at the end of one. We'll be back. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Back here to start the second quarter here at the TD Garden in Boston. The Knicks put up 44 points in a very big effort. They're up by 27 right now over the Boston Celtics. Hezzy Hauser for three. That is off the iron. Jordan Clarkson will grab the rebound. Jordan Clarkson back over to Malcolm Brogdon. He's into the game now. Back over to Mitchell Robinson to Bridges. There's a jump shot up. That is good. It's a 29-point lead now for the Knicks. You see, saw that quick starting lineup there for a second to start the second quarter. Anthony Simons with it. Coming around back over to Boucher. Boucher for three. That is no good. Robinson with the rebound. Simmons had 19.6 assists in their last game against Celtics last game against the Cavaliers in a loss. I gotta tell you, right now, the Celtics do not look good in watched games. They're not really good. I mean, they're having a hard time without Jason Tatum, but even in a watch game, they don't look good. They made the score respectable in that fourth quarter. That game was already out of hand. Simons for three. That is off the iron, no good. Brogdon with it. So we're a minute and a half into the second quarter here. 46-17, Knicks on top. Bridges for three. That is off. Hauser will get the rebound. Simons back over to Peyton Pritchard, the former Oregon Ugly Duckling. Keita with it. Back over to Boucher. Boucher, 4 to play here. Pass it over to Hauser. Hauser for three. That is off the iron, and Clarkson will get the rebound. Jordan Clarkson and his team up by 29 right now. Daddy passing over to Robinson. Back over to Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson, that I believe that was three, but that is no good anyway. Peyton Pritchard with the rebound. Simons with it. 2.5 to play, or 2.5 into the second quarter. There's a three. That is no good. Mitchell Robinson with the rebound. Bridges back over to Dadier. Dadier with the bucket, and it's a 31-point lead for the Knicks here. The Knicks are shooting 21 of 29 right now. The Celtics only 8 of 27. Dadier. Hauser with it. Back over to Boucher. Boucher for three. That is off the iron. Dadier with the rebound. Malcolm Brogdon has it for the Knicks here. Clarkson coming around. Clarkson for three. He drains it, and do not adjust your screen, everybody. The Knicks are up by 34. 51-17, 3.5 into the second quarter. Peyton Pritchard. Back over to Simons. Simons for three. That is off the iron. Mitchell Robinson will have it. See Jordan Clarkson coming in. Clarkson with a jump shot. That's good. 53-17, the Knicks on top here. We're only 4 minutes into the second quarter. Boucher with it. 5 to shoot. Passing it over to Pritchard. Pritchard for three. That is in and out. Keita with the slam dunk, and that will end the drought for the Celtics. That only brings it to 34 points now. I believe that is their first 2 points of this quarter. It took nearly 4.5 minutes. Back over to Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson with the slam dunk. And it's back to a 36-point game again. Pritchard. Back over to Boucher. Boucher passing it over to Hauser. Hauser for three. He drains it. Knicks lead is 33 points. Brogdon coming through. Back over to Dadier. Back to Robinson. Over to Clarkson. Clarkson with a jump shot. That is off the iron. No good. Pritchard with it. Simons has it. Back over to... Back over to Hauser for three. He drains it. Suddenly it's a 30-point game now. Clarkson back over to Robinson, and Robinson will make the bucket, and it's back. Knicks lead back up to 32. Jordan Clarkson with the assist. 57-25 here as we're approaching the halfway point of the second quarter. Boucher coming around. Boucher, and he's going to go to the line. Bridges called for the fouls. We're getting substitutions coming back in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Roche shooting only one to try to get this to within 29. Knicks led by as many as 36. And he will drain it. Halfway through the second quarter, 57-28, the Knicks on top. Mitchell Robinson still in the game for New York. Brunson for three. That is off the iron. Jaylen Brown will get the rebound there for the Celts. Over to Pritchard. Pritchard with the layup, and that is good. Peyton Pritchard cuts the lead to 27. And 5:18 to play. Clarkson for three. That is no good. Jaylen Brown will get the rebound here. Five minutes to play in the third quarter, or second quarter, I should say. I don't know what I'm talking about here. But you see Derek White for three. That is off. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Jordan Clarkson coming through. Clarkson back over to Brunson. Over to Clarkson, back to Anunoby. OG Anunoby with 10 on the shot clock. Back to Towns. Towns. That's Brunson for three. That is good. And a timeout called by the Celtics here. 4:39 to play in the second quarter. I'm going to take a timeout as well. You are watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in New York, or in Boston, I should say, where the Knicks are up by 30. They led by as many as 36. The Celtics had a little bit of a surge. They cut it to within 27. But right before the timeout, Brunson hit a three-pointer to put them back up by 30 here. You see Peyton Pritchard with it crossing the timeline or the half-court line. You see Brown with it. Find it into Minot. Minot passing it back over to White. White for three. He drains it. It's a 27-point game again. You see Anunoby with it. Back over to Jordan Clarkson. Back over to Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon over to 9. There's a shot by Brunson. That is no good. Tillman Sr. will get the rebound. Peyton Pritchard coming around. Pritchard will get the layup, and it's a 25-point game again. It's as close as they have been probably since the first quarter. See, back over to Malcolm Brogdon here. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. Brunson for three. He drains it. And the lead is back up to 28 for the Knicks. 3.5 to play in the second quarter. Jaylen Brown with it, passing over to White. Derek White for three. He drains it. Back to a 25-point game again. The Knicks have led by as many as 36. They led wire to wire in this game. Brunson for three. That is no good. The only time this game was tied was 0-0. See Jaylen Brown passing it over to Tillman Sr. Tillman Sr. with the layup. That is good. And it's only a 23-point game now. Clarkson back over to Towns. Towns back to Clarkson, passing it over to Jalen Brunson. Brunson to Towns. 9 to shoot. Clarkson for 3. He drains it. It's 66-40. Brown coming around. He's going to get the layup. That is good. Jaylen Brown brings the team back to within 24. Anunoby over to Clarkson. Clarkson for 3. He drains it. Jordan Clarkson, and he's been pretty clutch in these games. Watch game so far. It's only the second watch game that we've seen it. We see Jaylen Brown misses that one. That is off the iron, and Brogdon will get the rebound. Up by 27. Brunson with it. Pass it back over to Karl Anthony Towns. He shoots for 3. That is off the iron, and White will get the rebound here. Under a minute and a half to play in the second. Derek White. There's the 3 by Jaylen Brown. He drains it. 24 points. Is a margin right now as we have a timeout called by the Knicks here. The Celtics is trying to claw their way back into this game. We're going to take a timeout here. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. 69 seconds left until halftime here. We're coming back from the timeout here in Boston. The Knicks up 69-45, I should say. It's been a total dominant effort, actually, for the Knicks. They led by as many as 36, but the Celtics are trying to claw their way back in this game. And you see Karl Anthony Towns back to Anunoby. Anunoby misses, but Karl Anthony Towns with the offensive rebound and the slam dunk. And the Knicks are back on top by 26. Jaylen Brown, there's a jump shot. That is no good. Bridges with the rebound. Knicks out rebounding the Celtics 25-14. And you see Brunson for 3, and he makes it. 29-point lead again for Jalen Brunson. (74-45). We're approaching the final 30 seconds until halftime, and Luka Garza called for the illegal screen. That's his first personal. Hartwell inbounded the Bridges. Under 30 seconds to play in the second. Over to Anunoby. Back over to Hart. Back to Brunson. 10 on the shot clock here. Back over to Cat. Cat's going to get an easy layup there, and the Knicks are back on top by 31. As I said, they led by as many as 36. Simons with it. There's a jump shot 3 by Simons. No good. Will Anunoby go for a half-court shot? He will, and he'll miss it. That is the end of the first half here, with the New York Knicks in dominating fashion, leading the Boston Celtics 76-45. We are going to take it to the halftime report. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. All right, as we're back from halftime, getting ready to start the second half here in Boston. As I said, it's been a total dominant effort by the New York Knicks, led by Jalen Brunson. As I said, Brunson had 40 points in the last watch game a few days ago to end schedule block number 1 in a very classic game where they came back from 17 down early in that first quarter. Now they're up by 31 in this game. I see Brown inbound to get to Simons. Simons, White, Garza, Brown, and Tillman out in the lineup for the Celtics to start, as we have Bridges, Anunoby, Brunson, Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns to start the third quarter for the Knicks out on the floor. So the starting five for both teams start the second half on the court. See Brown with it. Coming around here, Jaylen Brown with 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Brown, there's a little jumper. That's up, no good. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. You see Jalen Brunson with it across to the timeline. Back over to Anunoby. OG Anunoby misses it. Josh Hart gets the rebound. Brunson now has it. Back over to Karl Anthony Towns with a slam dunk. 33-point lead for the Knicks. Anthony Simons has it for Jalen, passing over to Jaylen Brown. Brown with a jump shot. That is no good. Cat with the rebound. Hart will have it here. Jaylen Brown, 9 points, 5 rebounds on 4-12 shooting. You see White with a rebound. So Jaylen Brown having an off night right now, shooting-wise. Simons has it with 7 to shoot. 4 to shoot here. Simons coming through. There's a shot up that's no good. Hart with the rebound. Anthony Simons, only 2 points, 2 assists on 1 to 10 shooting. Anunoby for 3. That is no good. Tillman Sr. with the rebound. As we are 2 minutes into the third quarter. White coming through. White back to Tillman Sr. There's the slam dunk. It's only a 31-point game again. Jalen Brunson holding on to the ball right now, crossing the half-court line. Brunson back over to Towns. Karl Anthony Towns with another slam dunk. Brunson with the assist here as we are 2.5 minutes into the third quarter. Brown has it. 9 to shoot. 8 to shoot. Back over to Simons. Simons, jump shot. That is good. 31-point lead here as you see Simons, 4 points, and he is a minus 30 on the court in this game. In that plus and minus category here, you see Brunson. Brunson for 3. That is no good. Jaylen Brown grabbing the rebound. Back over to Anthony Simons. As I said, not a good effort by the Celtics at any level. You see Derek White for 3. That is no good. Karl Anthony Towns getting the rebound here. 3.5 into the third quarter. Knicks up by 31. Brunson coming around, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line, but he will not get the and-one opportunity, so he'll shoot 2 instead. Simons called for his first foul in this game.
Take a break. 2 shots.
2 shots for Brunson. Or, yeah, Brunson, I should say. That is no good. He misses the first one. I will announce tomorrow's game, which will be Friday the 14th. Brunson will make the second one. It's a 32-point game. Jaylen Brown with it, getting ready to cross the timeline. Back over to White. Back over to Luka Garza. Garza with 8 on the shot clock, passing back over to Jaylen Brown. Back to Tillman Sr. Passing it over to Simons. Simons with the jump shot. That is good. And it's a 30-point game again. The largest lead for the Knicks was 33 in the second half, I should say, but they led by as many as 36, and that's back to a 33-point lead. Karl Anthony Towns with 7 in this quarter already. 33-point lead, which is the largest in the second half. The largest so far in the entire game has been 36 for the Knicks. Brown for 3. That is off the iron, no good. See Jalen Brunson passing it over the Hart, back over to Brunson. Brunson coming around. There's a jump shot from inside. That is off, no good. Garza with the rebound. Derek White coming through. White with the slam dunk, and it's a 31-point lead. Derek White with 13 points on 56% shooting. 31-point game again. Brunson, jumper, too strong. Garza with the rebound. Simons coming around. Anunoby with the steal. Pass it over to Brunson. Brunson for 3. He drains it. It's a 34-point lead for the Knicks. Their largest of the second half so far. Sees Tillman Sr. with it back over to Garza. Garza back to White. Tillman Sr. back over to Simons. 4 to shoot. Simons with the layup. That is good. It's a 32-point lead here as we're about to reach the halfway point of the third quarter. 87-55. The Knicks on top with under 6 to play in the third. Bridges with it. Battle over to Brunson. Brunson with the slam dunk.
Assist from
Mikal Bridges. I said Michael this whole time. It's Mikal Bridges. Over here now, 5.5 to play in the third. 89-55, Celtics on top, or Knicks on top. Ooh, you see Garza, jump shot, no good. Bridges will get the rebound. See Brunson coming around again. Brunson with the layup, and that is good. 32 points for Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks match their largest lead in the entire game at 36. 5 to play here in the third. Jaylen Brown back over to Luka Garza. Luka Garza will get the shot up. That's good. And they now have it, and they're now within 34. They see Karl Anthony Towns with the layup. That is good. And the Knicks back on top by 36 here. We have some news that came out earlier before I started recording this game. You see Simons for 3. He drains that one. Anthony Simons. I believe now that's 7 for him in this game. But look at that. Karl Anthony Towns with another slam dunk there, and it's a 35-point lead again for the Knicks. Tillman Sr. with it. But some real NBA news. At the morning before I start recording this game, as there's a reach-in foul against Mikal Bridges here. We got substitutions being made. 95-60. The Dallas Mavericks did fire Nico Harrison earlier in the morning that I recorded this game. As I said, I try to get these games recorded at least 2 days in advance. Hauser for 3. He drains it. It's a 32-point game again with under 4 to play in the third. But yeah, by the time this game came out, Harrison had already been fired for a couple of days. You see Jalen Brunson there with the slam dunk. I think that's 34 for him. And the lead's back up by 34 here. See Luka Garza back over to Hauser. Back to Simons. Simons for 3. That is off the rim, too strong. It's Towns with the rebound. Clarkson has it. Clarkson coming through with it. Jordan Clarkson almost lost it for a second. He's going to get the layup. That is no good, and Jaylen Brown will grab the rebound. Derek White with it. Having a good game for Derek White, at least, shooting it well. Over to Brown, back to Garza, and Luka Garza with the slam dunk. Celtics back to within 32. They had it as close as 24 as Hukporti is into the game now. Clarkson for 3, and he drains it. 35-point lead, and we're only 2.5 left in the third quarter, and the Knicks have already reached the century mark. Brown has it. Back over to 22 there. That is off the iron, no good. Brogdon with the rebound. Clarkson coming through. As that was, Clarkson misses that one too strong. Brown will get the rebound here. Brown with a jumper. That is good. That's a 33-point lead here as we are now less than 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 100-67. The Knicks on top. Let's see Brunson. And there's a rejection. I believe that is on Simons there. Knicks will retain possession since it was last off the Celtics. Substitutions once again on the floor. And don't forget, when this game is over with, we are not done yet. We still have post-game ticker statistics and injury reports to go through. McBride now into the game. He misses that one as you see Jaylen Brown there. 100-67. Simons for three. He drains it. I believe that is now 10 for him. 30-point lead still for the New York Knicks as Hook Porty still has it. You see Clarkson. 1:18 to play here in the third. 100-70, the New York Knicks on top. 2 to shoot. Got to get that shot up. Clarkson does get the shot up. Too strong. Jaylen Brown with the rebound. Brown back over to Simons for three. That is off the rim. No good. Mitchell Robinson grabbing the rebound. .14 on the shot clock for the Knicks. Clarkson coming through. Still trying to get through, but Jaylen Brown saying nope. 5 on the shot clock here. Clarkson needs to get something going. Gets that shot up. Way awkward shot. That's too strong. Boucher will get the rebound for the Boston Celtics here. Brown with it with under 25 to play in the third. 10 on the shot clock, though. They do have to get it going here. Brown will get the shot up. That is good, and the lead is only 28. Hook Porty will inbound it to Clarkson here. Shot clock turned off. 100-72. As you see Clarkson for three. That is off the iron. Hauser will get the rebound, and that will do it. At the end of three, the New York Knicks went back up by 36 at one point, but the Celtics have it to within 28. We'll be back to start the fourth. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. We are looking at the State Farm assist of the game. That is definitely Jalen Brunson, and I believe, who is that? Is that Brunson? I don't know. Kind of hard to see when it's going a little bit when you can't see the name. No, that was Malcolm Brogdon had the assist of the game. That's my fault there. I need to see these names a little better. As you see, McBride still in the game. Brogdon, McBride, Robinson, Clarkson, and McClure Jr. As Jordan Clarkson will shoot the three early on to put the Knicks back on top by 31 here. We had no timeouts actually in this third quarter. You see Derek White for three, and he brings it back to within 28. But in case we have no timeouts, again, when this game is over with, we are not done yet. We still got the post-game ticker. We still have injury report, and we still have any news and notes as well as statistics. But we can announce tomorrow's game, which will be out on November 14th, Friday, November 14th, if you're watching this at a later date. We are heading back to the north of the border where the Los Angeles Lakers will travel to Toronto to play the Toronto Raptors. As you see, Peyton Pritchard for three, that is no good. So it'll be Lakers at Raptors tomorrow or Friday, November 14th, if you're watching this at a later date. Watching that game at a later date. But that game, we see Jordan Clarkson for 3, and he puts them back up by 31. Back-to-back threes to start off the fourth quarter for him. So yeah, Lakers at the Raptors, and we will announce it again in the calendar date for that actual game. As you see, the offensive rebound by Keita. White again, Derek White for 3, and this time Clarkson will get the defensive rebound 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Malcolm Brogdon giving back over to McCullough Jr. He'll lose that as Keita will get the steal there. Derek White for 3. That is no good. Brogdon will get the rebound. Feed over to Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson holding on to it with 10 on the shot clock here. Knicks up by 31 in this game. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. McCullough Jr. will get a shot up, no good. Tillman Sr. with the rebound. But the actual game for the Lakers and the Raptors will be on Wednesday, December 4th, 2025. As I said, I try to play these games, try to get these games out as fast as I can. If things work out, I'm going to be in the month of January before the month of December. I see Clarkson with a shot. That is no good. Keita with the rebound. Back over to Boucher. Boucher back over to Tillman Sr. over to White. White coming through. There's a jumper for Chris Boucher with the three-pointer there, and it is a 28-point game again. Back over to McCullough, back to Clarkson here. To McCullough Jr. Or McCullough Jr., I should say. There's a shot. That is good. Malcolm Brogdon with the 3 there. Knicks back up by 31 with 8 to play here in the fourth. But no, my goal is to try to get to January before all these college football simulations have to go out. Boucher for 3. That is off the iron, no good. Because I will be taking like a break from this game to get some college football stuff heavily out with my 2018 playoff, as well as you see Brogdon with the jump shot. That is no good. Keita with the rebound here. So I have my 2018 college football playoff, as well as simulations for the actual college football 12-team playoff. Those will be out as well. And I'm also doing simulations for the conference championship games. White for 3. That is off the iron, no good. And as speaking of that, yesterday was the first set of games for Week 12. The first game for Week 12 simulation. Of course, I don't get those out until at the time of the recording. That game has still yet to be determined because I don't do anything until after the college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday. As you see the miss there, Tillman Sr. will get the rebound here. And you see Derek White with it. To Boucher, back over to Keita. Keita with it, and he brings the Celtics back to within 29. Robinson giving back over to McCullough Jr. to Brogdon, and Brogdon is going to go to the line, and he's only going to shoot 2 as Peyton Pritchard called for his first. But the shot did not go in, so Brogdon's going to go to the line for 2.
Taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Up by 29. The Knicks have led wire to wire, and the only time the game was tied was 0-0. Brogdon will hit the first one. As McPorty's going to come back into this game, Mitchell Robinson back into this game. We'll look at some substitutions here. Pritchard is the only one that's still going to stay in the game or not switch positions. I see Garza still in the game. As you see Brogdon hits them both. Jaylen Brown with it, crossing the half-court line here as we're halfway through the fourth quarter here. See some of the crowd emptying it out here at the Garden. Simons for three. That is off the iron. No good. Robinson will get the rebound here. You see McBride. I think this is a game where the benches, I think, are more emptied with how this game has been going here. McBride with a jump shot. He'll get some points off the bench. Look at that. The Knicks shooting 46 of 81 compared to 34-79 for the Celtics. It's a 33-point lead again for the Knicks. They led by as many as 36. There's a three-point shot by Peyton Pritchard. That is too strong, and Mitchell Robinson will get the rebound on Malcolm Brogdon. 15 to shoot here in the fourth. Or no, in this drive, or in this trip down the court. What am I saying? Jordan Clarkson, though, for three. I'll tell you this, that's back up to a 36-point lead for the Knicks, matching their largest of the game. In the first half, the Celtics were able to cut it to within 24 before the Knicks were able to bring it back up to 31 at halftime. There's a shot there. Anthony Simons, I believe that's 13 for him. Brogdon back over to Huck Party. Malcolm Brogdon over to Clarkson. Clarkson for three. He drains that one, and they're back up by 36. With 4:10 left to play in this game. Hauser with it, as you see some Celtics waiting at the scorer's table. Are they going to empty the bench? See Jaylen Brown with the slam dunk. He has 15 in this game. I believe that's 8 that are mid-range. You see Brogdon has it. Back over to Huck Party. Or Hook Party. Robinson. There's a jump shot, but that's too strong. Peyton Pritchard's with the rebound here. Trailing by 34 here. 3.5 to play. Simons with it. Anthony Simons back over to Hauser. Back over to Brown. 8 on the shot clock here. We got 5 on the shot clock. Brown coming through. There's a jumper. That is in and out. Robinson will get the rebound for the Knicks. Brogdon. Holding on now here as we got 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Back over to Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson with a jump shot. That is off. No good. Simons will get the rebound here. Anthony Simons jump shot. That is good. It's a 32-point lead here in the fourth. 2.5 to play in the fourth. Knicks have controlled this from start to finish. The only time this game was even tied, as I mentioned, was 0-0. Clarkson for three. That is off the iron. No good. Peyton Pritchard has it for the Celtics. 17 to shoot. See Brown with it. What can Brown do as we're under 2 minutes to play here? 4 on the shot clock. Brown passes it over to Hauser. Hauser for three. No good. Robinson with the rebound. Malcolm Brogdon has it for the Knicks here with 16 on the shot clock. Robinson back over to Huck Party. Back over to Clarkson. 9 on the shot clock here. Robinson. You see Huck Party coming around with it. Clarkson for three. He drains it. 35-point game. I said the Knicks led by as many as 36 in this game. But the Knicks have led 122. I believe that's probably the largest in a watched game so far, as we are now over a minute left of this game here. Robinson coming through. Back over to Clarkson. Back over to Brogdon. Brogdon back to Mitchell Robinson. 4 on the shot clock. The McBride for three. That is off the iron. Garza with the rebound here. Under 40 seconds to play. Look at Tillman, and no, that's Simons. Little too late for some of these players for the Celtics to start heating up here. And I noticed that there was no timeouts called at all in either game, either of the quarters here in the second half. You see Clarkson, no good. Simons coming through. Simons. There we go. Hauser for three. No good. Robinson with the rebound. 3, 2, 1. And this game was never in doubt from the beginning. From start to finish, the Knicks led wire to wire. They walk out of Beantown with a 122-89 win. The Knicks will move to 17-3 on the season, and the Celtics 8-13. And stay tuned, we are not done yet. We still have a lot more to go. Time to look at the statistics for the players-wise. Starting off with the home team, the Boston Celtics, even in a loss. They start off with Anthony Simons, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. He started heating up in that second half, too little too late, though. Derek White, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Jaylen Brown, though, to his credit, he had a triple-double in this game. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists in a defeat. Sam Hauser had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists off the bench. Luka Garza had 8 points, 5 rebounds. Chris Boucher, 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Xavier Tillman only had 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Sorry about that. Peyton Pritchard, only 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Neemias Queta, 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. Josh Minot had 1 assist. RJ Luis Jr., Jordan Walsh, Hugo Gonzalez, Amari Williams, Baylor Shireman did not play for the Celtics in this game. And now for the victorious New York Knicks. They are now 2-0 in watched games, and they are 17-3 overall in the season playthrough. So we start off with Jalen Brunson, 34 points, 1 rebound, 9 assists. Jordan Clarkson had 29 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Look at that. A trio of players that scored at least 26 points or more. And you got Mitchell Robinson, double-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds, and a steal and an assist off the bench. Josh Hart, 9.7 rebounds, 2 assists. Mikal Bridges, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Malcolm Brogdon at 5.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Miles McBride at 2 points off the bench with the 1 assist. Let's see, Pacome Dadier, 2 points, 1 rebound. OG Anunoby, no points, but he did have 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Ariel Hukporti only had 2 assists off the bench. Kevin McCullough Jr., who did not play in that last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, he did play in this game. He had 1 rebound. Tyler Kolek is the only player for the Knicks who did not play. As I said, I think teams were trying to empty out their benches. The Knicks did for sure, tried to empty it out. And those are your statistics for this game. It is now time for the post-game ticker brought to you by 2K Sports. We start off with the remaining games on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025, and we start off in the city of brotherly love where the Sixers 125-98 winners over the Wizards. North of the border, the Trailblazers will get a win over the Toronto Raptors 116-109, a team that we're going to be watching in the next game. The Knicks, in a game that we just watched, get their 17th win of the season with 122-89 winners over the Boston Celtics, a game that really was never in doubt from the beginning. The Minnesota Timberwolves get their second loss of the year as the New Orleans Pelicans scratch their way back to 500. They easily handle the Timberwolves 134-111. The San Antonio Spurs will get a 139-106 win over the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, as I mentioned, when I first showed them, they went on a little winning streak. They went on a 5-game winning streak that included the two games that I had them on the first schedule block. Well, they've been on a 3-game losing streak after that 5-game winning streak. They are now 10-12. The Spurs 9-11. And the Warriors pull off the upset over the Oklahoma City Thunder, 114-90. They are 14-8, and the Thunder are 18-4. Now for the games played on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. The Portland Trail Blazers will get back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights. They go into Cleveland and win by 20 over the Cavaliers, 134-114. The Nuggets go into Indiana and win 140-123. Spurs will bounce back as they beat the Orlando Magic in the House of Evil Mouse, 135-114. The Clippers will get their 17th win of the season, a 156-124 win over the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks will get their 18th win of the season, back-to-back on back-to-back nights, winning over the Hornets, 124-108. The Bulls, 122-87 winners over the Brooklyn Nets. The Kings are having a long season right now in this season playthrough, and Lord help me, they're going to have a long season in real life, as I heard they are committed to a full rebuild. We'll see how that goes. But the Rockets do win 122-103 over the Kings. The Pistons get their 8th win of the season, 142-118 winners over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pistons, though, in real life, are a lot better than they are in this season playthrough to start off the regular season. I can tell you that right now. And the Dallas Mavericks, 119-95 winners over the Miami Heat. And that will be your post-game ticker. As my friend RJL Network say, if your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. And these are the injury reports after the games played on December 3rd, 2025. We start off with the Sixers. Nothing to report. Nothing to report for the Bucks, either for the Bulls, for the Cavaliers. Struss is still out 1 to 2 weeks, but Larry Nance Jr. now is recovering. He's day-to-day still. Jason Tatum, as I said, still out 4 to 6 weeks for the Celtics. Chris Paul still has another 1 to 2 weeks left. Nothing for the Grizzlies. Hawks. Reece Shazay out 1 to 2 weeks. Terry Rozier, as I said, still suspended indefinitely. Hornets, nothing to report. Neither for the Jazz. For the Kings, Drew Eubanks is still day-to-day, but his status is hurt. For the Knicks, we have Gershon Yabusele and out 6 to 8 weeks with Shami out 1 to 2 weeks. Landry Shami out 1 to 2 weeks with the lower bruised back. Lakers will have a full will have their full roster there when we watch the game tomorrow, or whenever you guys watch that game. Wendell Carter Jr. out 1 to 2 weeks with Tyus Jones still day-to-day. For the Dallas Mavericks, we can now add Dante Exum to the injured list. He is out 4 to 6 weeks with a pinched nerve in the back. Lively still out 1 to 2 weeks with a dislocated right elbow. Kyrie Irving still out with that ACL injury stemming from last season. He's out for another 1 to 2 weeks. Michael Porter Jr., Terrence Mann, and Keon Johnson still out for the Nuggets. Bruce Brown is recovering with that fractured eye socket. He is going to be coming back pretty soon. But Peyton Watson now added to the injury list for the Denver Nuggets. He's out 1 to 2 weeks. Tyrese Halliburton, we already know his injury. Pelicans, nothing to report. Jaden Ivey with that cracked neck vertebrae still out 2 to 4 months. Raptors will also have a full lineup in their game tomorrow against the Lakers. Let me see. Fred VanVleet still out for the season, as I know. And Dorian Finney-Smith is back on the injured list. Sore right hamstring day-to-day. I believe that was the injury he had earlier in the season. De'Aaron Fox is back out with a right hand fracture. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. He had already had a He was already out for the first couple of weeks of the regular season to start off with. Now he's back on the injured list, as well as Dylan Harper still out day to day for the Spurs. The Suns, nothing to report. Hartenstein and Kaysen Wallace still out for the Thunder. Julius Randle still out for another 2 to 4 months for the Timberwolves. For the Trailblazers, of course, Lillard out for the season. Sharp still out for another 1 to 2 weeks. And Tamani Kamara is now day to day. He's still under the status of hurt. Warriors, no injuries to report. And Cam Whitmore still out for 6 to 8 weeks with a torn right meniscus. And that is your injury report for the games played after December 3rd, 2025. Before we sign off, I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow's game, or Friday, November 14th, if you're watching this at a later time, will feature the Los Angeles Lakers at the Toronto Raptors, where the Lakers are 13-7 on the season and the Raptors are 10-12. The game that we'll be watching tomorrow or on Friday the 14th is actually going to take place on Thursday, December 4th, 2025. That's when the actual game will take place. As I said, this is a season playthrough, so we are playing through the season. So you're going to get games in future tense. So sorry about that if you don't like the accuracy. But as I said, both teams lost their first game, their only game in watched games for schedule block number 1. This is the first time either team will be featured on schedule block number 2. I can tell you right now, I can tell you safely that this is the only time we're going to see the Lakers in schedule block number 2. The Raptors will have one more game later on as we head towards finding filler teams that have not been yet to be seen. So that is it for the NBA 2K portion. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do drop. And also, I just want to let everybody know that my College Football 26 Week 12 simulations are in full effect now. I had one yesterday, or Wednesday the 12th. Again, at the time of the recording of this game, I do not know which games I'll be playing until the college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday night. That's when I determine my simulation games. And then also, don't forget that my 28-team college football playoff projection that I like to do on my own, the latest projection video also came out yesterday, or Wednesday the 12th, I should say. And that will do it. And before I say it, I just want to remind everybody that the final score of tonight's game, the New York Knicks over the Boston Celtics, 122-89, in a game that really was dominated by the Knicks from start to finish. As I mentioned, there was no tie other than 0-0 in that game. I am Vinny from VDub Productions, and I am signing off.